Okay, we're back on the record in calls numbers 327934 and calls number 327936. Both cases will style the state of Texas versus Jesus Torres. Now, Mr. Torres, earlier you were sworn in, is that correct? And Mr. Torres, in reference to cause number 327934, in that particular case, Mr. Torres, you were charged with the Class A misdemeanor offense.
Hold up, Judge. Three minutes up.
Another default.
Okay,
Gonna do it.
No, don't.
okay, okay, now,
Only for court.
okay, now, Mr. Torres, now, the information states that on or about June 11th of 2020, while you were in the municipality of Beaumont in Jefferson County, Texas, that you were charged with the Class A misdemeanor offense, discharge of a firearm in a certain municipality. Do you understand what you've been charged with?
Yes, sir.
And to discharge, Mr. Torres, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, no contest?
No comment.
Now, you pleading no contest freely and voluntarily?
Yes, sir.
And are you pleading no contest because you do not wish to fight or contest the
Yes,
charges?
sir.
Now, Mr. Torres, I have before me what is marked as State's Exhibit Number 1. Mr. Torres, and this State's Exhibit Number 1 is the misdemeanor plea admonishments. Mr. Torres, do you recognize this document?
Yes, sir.
And on page 3 of this same document, Mr. Torres,
Yes, sir.
are these your initials?
Yes, sir.
Page 2 of this document. Okay, on page 3 of this document, Mr. Torres, above the line that says defendant, is that your signature?
Yes, sir.
Now, Mr. Torres, are you a U.S. citizen?
Yes, sir.
All right. Mr. Torres, I have before me another document. This document is titled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Right of Appeal. Do you recognize this document?
Yes, sir.
Is that your signature above the line that says defendant?
Yes, sir.
There are 2 boxes that's checked at the top of this document. The first box states that this is a plea bargain case and you have no right of appeal. Do you understand that?
That's fine.
Do you understand that?
I do understand.
And the second box states that you're waiving, which means you're giving up your right to an appeal. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
All right. Now, Mr. Torres, I also have 2 other documents here. The first document is titled Judge's Explanation of Rights to Defendants Without an Attorney. There are a set of initials on the line that state that I want to waive my right to an attorney and represent myself. First of all, do you recognize this document?
Yes, sir.
Is that your, well, are these your initials on this document?
Yes, sir.
And is that your signature on the line that says defendant?
Yes, sir.
I have another document here. This document is titled Waiver of Counsel for Purposes of Entering a Guilty Plea or Proceeding to Trial. Mr. Torres, do you recognize this document?
Yes, sir.
And is that your signature on the line that says defendant?
It is.
Okay. Now, Mr. Torres, prior to signing documents that's on paper and the documents on the tablet, prior to signing and initialing these documents, did you have an opportunity to read the documents?
I did.
And did you read the documents?
I did.
And did you understand what you read?
I did.
And is everything in these documents true and correct to the best of your knowledge?
It is.
State, I have before me State's Exhibit Number 1 and State's Exhibit Number 2. State, you like to offer States 1 and 2?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Torres, I have before me State's Exhibit Number 1. State's Exhibit Number 1 is the document that have your initials on page 2 and your signature on page 3. State's Exhibit Number 2 is the probable cause affidavit. Now, the probable cause affidavit also commonly referred to as a police report or the PC affidavit. Mr. Torres, the state would like to use these documents as evidence against you in your case. Is it all right for the state to use these documents as evidence against you in your case?
Yeah, that's fine.
With no objection, State's Exhibits Number 1 and 2 will be admitted. Mr. Torres, is there any evidence that you are currently mentally incompetent to stand trial?
No, sir.
Okay, Mr. Torres, I will accept your plea of no contest. I will find that you are mentally competent to stand trial. I will also find that your plea of no contest and waivers were freely and voluntarily given. I will also find that there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. State, do we have a plea bargain agreement in this case?
Yes, Your Honor.
And what is that agreement?
The state's offer is 180 days probated over 1 year, an $800 fine plus court costs, plus 80 hours of community service.
Mr. Torres, the state is offering that you serve 180 days in jail. However, you would not have to serve any time in the county jail for this case because you will be placed on probation for 1 year. During the 1 year probationary period, you'll be required to pay a fine of $800 and court costs of $307, which comes to a total of $1,107. You will also be required to pay probation fee of $60 each month and a urinalysis fee of $15 each month. And when we add all of this up and divide it by the time that you're on probation, you'll be required to pay a monthly installment or monthly payment of $180 per month. Will you be able to pay that amount?
No.
You will not? Okay. So, Mr. Torres, I need to ask you some questions. Do we, no, I have to get it from here. Okay, now, Mr. Torres, do you receive any governmental assistance such as Medicaid, SSI, SNAP, TANF?
No.
None, or are you in public housing?
Never move on.
Oh, you okay. Now, do you have a job?
No, sir.
Okay, so you don't have no income. Are you married, single, divorced, separated?
Single.
Single? And okay. Do you receive any child support?
No, sir.
Okay, you don't get SNAP or SSI, no government assistance, no. Do you have any other income? Any income? No, none at all? Do you have any assets, like do you own a car? Oh, none, okay, so that's 0. Now, as far as your rent, you have to pay, are you required to pay rent or anything?
No, sir.
Okay. Do you have to pay any utility bills?
No, sir.
No.
No.
Do you have to pay any child support? No. Now, do you have to pay any food expenses, or do your mother pay that?
Mom did.
She pays that, okay. Do you have to pay any transportation costs to be transported?
No, sir.
No. And cell phone expenses?
Yeah.
Oh, do you pay for that?
Yes, sir.
Okay, where do you get the income to pay for it?
I probably go work, cut a little yards.
Okay, now, what's your cell phone?
409.
No, I'm not asking you for the number. How much do you pay per month?
Like 130.
130? Okay, now, I'm gonna go back over to the other side. You say you just cut yards.
Yeah.
How much?
Barely, but it's cold. It's because it's cold right now. So
I understand,
it'll be gone.
okay. So you're not cutting yards now
No, not right now.
because it's cold. Okay, that makes sense. Oh, you're not currently on probation or anything,
No,
are you?
sir.
So you don't have to pay any probation. Are you paying any medical expenses or anything?
No, sir.
No?
Just the other day, I had to go get some thing out of my house.
Okay, but you didn't have to pay, did you have to pay for it, or
I paid for
your parent paid for it, your mom paid for it?
Mom did.
She did, okay. What about, you have any credit cards or anything? No? Okay. Okay. Now, let's see. We're gonna find you that you indigent, and the court is going to, let's see, we're gonna convert your, no, listen, huh?
Yeah, I had to work with me.
Okay, That's what I was getting ready to tell you.
Yes, sir.
The court is going to convert your fine of $800 and your court costs of $307, which comes to total $1,107. We're gonna convert that to community service, okay? And that will be 89 hours of community service. That once we convert that, when we convert that, it'll be 89 hours of community service. That is converted to 89. Now, your probation fee is going to be reduced to the minimum, which is $25 per month. And this is no attorney fees. Okay. And that's going to change how much that'll change how much you'll be required to pay. Okay. Now, when you cut grass on a monthly basis, how much do you normally make?
Probably like 10 a yard or something.
Yeah, I'm just saying how much you make like on an average. Well,
I don't, it's not a for sure.
I don't understand, but
week thing. It's
when
like
you cut, you get so much a week.
Probably like 4 or 5, so that's probably like 40, 50 books a day.
You say
4 or 5 yards, you get 10 books out of each yard. I mean, it's really not
4 or
that
5. So you're saying $40 to $50?
per day.
Okay, and $40 to $50 per day. Okay,
That's even if we have yards.
if you have yards to cut,
Yeah.
let's just say 40 times 5. Okay. Okay, I mean, it all depends. I mean, if you're cutting grass during during the season, I mean, you could make maybe about almost 800 and something dollars a month if it's $40 to $50 a day. But since it's cold, I know that grass don't grow, so you're not cutting anything. Okay. Do you do anything else?
Not really.
You don't do anything else? Okay. Okay, so what we're gonna do, we're gonna reduce the court costs. I mean, you're gonna reduce your fine and cost to community service, 89 hours of community service, and your probation fee is gonna be reduced from $60 to $25. All right? Now, and would you be able to handle that?
Oh, yes, sir.
You will? All right, so we'll make those adjustments. Now, this case also is gonna run concurrent with your other case. Well, first of all, you also have 80 hours of community service in this case, in addition to the 89. And then you have this case is gonna run concurrent with clause number 327936, which is your next case. All right? Now, your next case, 32. Now, first of all, do you understand the state's offer? And do you think the state's offer in your case, as well as the adjustment that the court has made, is fair and just?
Yes, sir.
And do you accept the offer?
Yes, sir.
Okay. I'll follow the plea bargaining agreement that you've entered into with the state. Now, your next case is cause number 327936. And in this case, it states that the information states that on or about June 11, 2020, while you were in Jefferson County, Texas, you were charged with a Class A misdemeanor offense of unlawfully carrying a weapon while engaging in criminal activities. Now, you understand what you've been charged with?
Yes, sir.
And to this charge, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
No contest.
Now, you're pleading no contest freely and voluntarily?
Yes, sir.
And are you pleading no contest because you do not wish to fight or contest the charges?
Yes, sir.
Okay, now, I have before me what is marked as State's Exhibit Number 1, which is the misdemeanor plea admonishment. Do you recognize this document?
Yes, sir.
And on page 2 of the same document, Mr. Torres, are these your initials?
Yes, sir.
And on page 3 of this document, Mr. Torres, is that your signature above the line that says defendant?
Yes, sir.
And I have another document. This document is titled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Right of Appeal. Do you recognize this document?
Yes, sir.
And is that your signature on the line that says defendant?
Yes, sir.
2 boxes are checked here. The first box at the top states that this is a plea bargain in case you have no right of appeal. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
The second box states that you're waiving, which means you're giving up your right to appeal. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
I also have before me 2 documents. First document is titled Judge's Explanation of Rights of Defendants Without an Attorney. Do you recognize this document?
Yes, sir.
And is that are these your initials on the line that state that I want to waive my right to an attorney and represent myself?
Yes, sir.
And is that your signature on the line that says defendant?
Yes, sir.
And I have another document. This document is the waiver of counsel for purpose of entering a guilty plea or proceeding to trial. You recognize this document?
Yes, sir.
And is that your signature on this document?
Yes, sir.
Now, prior to signing and initialing the documents on the tablet and the documents on paper, did you have an opportunity to read these documents?
Yes, sir.
And did you read the documents?
Yes, sir.
And did you understand what you read?
I did.
And is everything in these documents true and correct to the best of your knowledge?
Yes, sir.
Right? State, I have before me State's Exhibit Number 1 and 2. State, you like to offer States 1 and 2? Go ahead.
Yes, Your Honor.
And Mr. Torres, I have before me State's Exhibit Number 1. State's Exhibit 1 is a document that have your initials on page 2 and your signatures on page 3. State's Exhibit Number 2 is the probable cause affidavit, commonly referred to as the police report. The state would like to use both of these documents as evidence against you in this case. Is it all right for the state to use these documents as evidence in your case?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, Mr. Torres, State's Exhibit 1 and 2 will be admitted. No objections. Mr. Torres, is there any evidence that you are currently mentally incompetent to stand trial? What did you say?
Sir?
Is there any evidence that you are currently mentally incompetent to stand trial?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Mr. Torres, I will accept your plea of no contest. I will find that you are mentally competent to stand trial. I will also find that your plea of no contest and waivers were freely and voluntarily given. I will also find that there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. State, in clause number 327936, do we have a plea bargain agreement?
Yes, Your Honor.
What is that agreement?
The state is offering 180 days probated over 1 year, $200 fine plus court costs, and 80 hours of community service. This is to run concurrent with case number 327934.
Okay, Mr. Torres,
Sir.
the state is offering that you serve 180 days in Jefferson County Jail. However, you're not serving any time in jail because you'll be placed on probation for 1 year. During the 1 year probationary period, you'll be required to pay a fine of $200 plus court costs. And you will also be required to pay a urinalysis fee. That'll probably be wiped out too. Normally it's $15. That will come to a total of $125 per month. Now, would you be able to pay this total amount in your $125 a month fee.
So both of them are gonna be together?
Yeah, just, yeah. Now, what I would do is, if you, can you pay it, yes or no?
No.
All right. Now, since you will not be able to pay it, I'm going to convert your fine of $200 and your court cost, which is $307, which comes, and the fine and court cost comes to a total of $507. I think that's pursuant to Article, is that 4215? Yeah, here it is, yeah. Pursuant to Article 4215 of the Texas Code of Criminal Procedures, your fine and court cost is going to be converted to community service. And the $507, once we converted to community service, the community service will be 41 hours, okay? And now you'll be, this case, so that will reduce your monthly installments, all right? And we'll get a judgment, and once we do the judgment, it should come out the judgment, and the probation officer also will make the adjustments on this judgment as well. Now, would you be able to handle or pay the amount of the probation fee, well, the amount of your fine, fees, and costs with the conversion of community service?
Which is,
Okay, let's see, will we be able to get that? Hold on a minute. Mistaken.
So 934, you take down
His fine and court cost is gonna be converted to community service.
his whole fine,
I think I said it's gonna be,
89 hours. before.
that's the first one, yeah, but I'm saying on the second one. It's 41 hours on this case. It's 41 hours on this case of community service for the fine and cost of $507. He will not be required to pay a probation fee because he's paying probation fee on the previous case of $25. I don't know if they will be requiring him to pay a year analysis fee on the second case if he's already paying one on the first case. He's making those calculations right now. Let me just go into, put a hold and go into recess on this one. This is gonna take much longer.
Well, it blew me out the first one.
We'll be in recess till she make those calculations.